Hey everyone, it's Courtney, and I didn't post over the weekend. I've been posting pretty much every weekend, so you might be wondering, Courtney, what have you been up to? And I will tell you, we actually had some family come in town to visit, but since they've left over the past couple days, I have been trying to get caught up on some projects. So there were a couple personal things I needed to cover. I'm still in the middle of a commission, and I'm waiting to actually go to more stores or to the store again to get more supplies for that. So that's on hold for now, but there's a late deadline. There's a deadline that isn't for another month, so it'll be okay. I have been doing some market prep. I started this little guy last night and I finished this little guy. The idea to make these little octopus guys actually ballooned. Well, I shouldn't say ballooned. That's a weird way to put it. But the idea to make these little octopus guys actually started because as I was getting caught up on things yesterday, I was making scrunchies for me and my girls because if you are a scrunchie wearer, you know that after a little while, for us, a few months, they start to lose the elastic quality. So I always have to make more, probably 3 months after I replenish the scrunchies that we use in our hair. So, and I actually made some for myself this time. Usually I don't make some for myself either, but my stepmother brought me some yarn from my grandmother's stash that my grandmother had very graciously gifted me. So I had some beautiful yarn to make some awesome scrunchies with. And after I did one other thing crochet wise, and then after that, the next thing to do was to make this purple squirrel that my daughter had requested. So if you go back to this video right here where we're shopping in Michael's, you see, I think I mentioned that my daughter brought me this purple yarn, and it's one of the 2 skeins of yarn that I bought on that trip to Michael's. And because our budget wasn't huge, if our budget was huger, I might have bought more, but I got this beautiful yarn. It's this lavender colorway from Loops and Threads Sweet Snuggles, and my daughter said that she wanted me to make her a purple squirrel. So there might have been a little bit of an idea from my other daughter who asked me to make her a purple owl, and we did that earlier in the summer, but I digress. So I finally got around to making this purple squirrel. We had made this Michael's video over a month ago, so I'm glad we finally got around to doing that. And then the next thing that I wanted to do before I really got back into the commission is that I wanted to start some market prep. So I used that Sweet Snuggles lavender colorway to make some of these little baby jellyfish patterns, and I'll put up on the screen the ones I made in the lavender colorway from Sweet Snuggles, and they are the pattern from All From Jade. Probably they are the first pattern that I ever learned how to crochet, and I think it's a good idea to take them to markets. They always do well. People always recognize these guys, and they can be priced pretty low because comparatively, they do not take a lot of time or resources to make. There was actually an outdoor movie that we were at, and I forgot to bring a larger skein of yarn, but I did remember to bring this bag, and this bag is the bag that I usually keep all my supplies in, and actually it's another one that my grandma gave me one year, so shout out to my step grandma in this video because she gave me this awesome bag, and in it I usually keep my little tools like this. The brand is like it's Eagle Good to Go. I don't know if you can even find this in stores anymore, so maybe this is just a promotion for having a good bag. But yes, this is where I keep my yarn needles, my hooks, my little safety scissors, and also some scraps of yarn. So I had the bag with me, and in it were these scraps of yarn. So I started making this little octo with Premier Parfait Chunky in the peach colorway. And I also made this little guy in the key lime colorway. I think that he is so cute and I love him so much. Now, part of it also is that I've been using these cool safety eyes. They have so I'm pretty sure, I know these are just safety eyes that we got off of Amazon. And not that I promote Amazon or anything, I'd recommend buying handmade if you can, but if you can't, sometimes you just... Back to the actual little jellyfish. In the time that I was making and starting to edit the first part of this video, I actually finished making all the tentacles, And if you haven't made one of these before, or if you have and you've just forgotten, I want to make sure that you don't forget that these guys take a very small amount of yarn. Oh my goodness. I still have this scrap left. And honestly, I wonder if with what's left of this peach colorway, I could make all the parts for another jellyfish. So real quick, I'm going to stop the video here. And when I come back in the next segment, you are going to see if that is possible or not. Guys, I just made the little head part, and I made also the first tentacle, and I haven't finished yet, but I think we're going to be able to make this whole little guy, so stick around. In the next slide I will show you if we have made him or not. Okay, my friends, I was able to make all those parts for the next little amigurumi jellyfish with that tiny little scrap, and I have only this amount left. Here, let me get the whole thing in the vid. Yeah, so like this is all I have left, but I was able to do it, so yay! And I haven't put the little guy together yet, but all in all, making all the tentacles and the body head, it only took me about 20 minutes. So here are the long tentacles, and here are the short ones, and here is the finished body head. I finished putting all the little tentacles together and weaving in of the ends, all the attaching, and this little peach guy is complete. I absolutely love these guys so much. Again, I think the eyes really add something. I'm pretty sure that these guys are going to be well appreciated at my next market on Saturday. And all in all, they only took me, or I should say the one peach guy only took me about 40 minutes start to finish to make. So not bad, not bad. And thank you, audience, for keeping me on task. Well, everyone, I think it's time to go ahead and leave this video off for today, but I so appreciate you tuning in to see what I have been up to over the weekend and even staying here with me while I did a bit of market prep. It has been so much fun. I will see you in the next one. Bye!